All right, guys, so let's dive in. This is day 2 of a 7-day nutrition series. So hopefully you guys had a chance to watch yesterday. I'm going to keep that up a little bit longer. And it really went into the reason why, pretty much, you should pay attention over these 7 days. And I showed you a couple transformations. I kind of gave you a background on my story, my brother's, and Daniela's, on how exercise didn't help us lose weight, not one bit. We all exercised because it's an important role for the human body, but it's not the reason at all on why we got the results that we got. And so if you haven't watched day 1 yet, make sure you go back today to watch it, because my plan's to take it down tomorrow. Maybe I'll be nice and wait till the end of 7 days, but just in case, just make sure you go ahead and watch it. What's up, Sandra? And so today I'm excited. Now we're really just gonna dive into it. No more fluff. I don't consider yesterday fluff because it was really important, but hopefully you got your mindset right, and you're ready to just kind of tackle in. If you have pen and paper, take notes, or watch this over and over again as much as you need to. And so today, as I've been talking about, we're gonna be talking about protein. And so exactly what about protein? Here's kind of what I'm going to be covering today. I'm going to be talking about why protein, myths about protein, because there's a lot of them. I'll cover about 3 of them. I'm going to show you a protein list, pretty much the same exact list that all of us have eaten off of, and where we choose our proteins from when we want to get the best results. How to be intentional with your snacks. How to find your protein number. So how many grams of protein should you be eating every single day? And then more importantly, how to hit that protein number, right? It's one thing to know everything, but it's another thing to actually do it, and the process behind that. And so part of this is what I don't really just want this to be like, hey, I talk and listen, right? We did that for school for at least 12 years of our life, and most of the stuff we've never learned because we didn't take action on the stuff we listened to. So I want to give you guys, like, I won't say homework. Homework's a bad word. But the more interactive, a workshop. That's the word I was working for. I want you to treat this more like a workshop. Like, all right, this is what I learned. Now I need to do it. Instead of, this is what I learned. That was cool. Let's go on with my life, right? This is what I learned, and now I need to do it. And that is how you're going to progress in the goals of your life. All right. So first off, why protein? So many people don't know that protein is the hardest macronutrient for our body to digest. And so if you're brand new to nutrition, and you don't even know what a macronutrient is, macronutrients is pretty much it's what calories are made of. So the 3 macronutrients, there's protein, there's carbs, and there's fat. You've heard of all those words. Those are your macronutrients. And then within those are micronutrients, which is like all the phytonutrients and things you take vitamins for and all of that stuff, right? And so out of the 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat, protein is the hardest macronutrient for our body to digest, which means just by eating protein, our body has to work harder to digest it, which means our body actually burns more calories because you're eating protein rather than having fats or carbs. All right, that's pretty cool. And protein is also the reason why we are able to create new, and keep lean muscle mass. Lean muscle on our body is the thing everybody should strive to get as much of, right? And I'll go into this about myths. It's not so much about muscle. Protein is not going to make you some big bodybuilder, right? Like, I eat tons of protein. I'm not some huge bodybuilder. I lift heavy and I eat a lot of protein, but I'm not a bodybuilder because I don't eat like a bodybuilder. Protein will not make you gain weight. Protein will not make you bigger. Eating too many calories will make you bigger. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. So protein helps you keep that lean muscle mass, and it helps you, more importantly, keep that lean muscle mass when you lose the weight, because a lot of people don't eat enough protein, and when they lose weight, they actually lose muscle. And that's why they always hit the plateau and feel fatter than they did when they gain the weight back. But more importantly, when you do exercise, it helps you put on lean muscle mass. And the more lean muscle mass you have, you actually burn more calories throughout the day. Um, yeah, just know that. And then one of the biggest reasons why you should always have protein is protein actually keeps you full longer. It is the thing that fills you up. Have you ever went throughout your day and you just eat a bunch of carbs? Like, I know I have. Like, there'll be days where I just usually when if I'm hungover or something, right? You'll just eat junk food, like junk carbs, like you have potato chips, and then you're not hungry, and then you have pretzels, and you're not hungry, and then there's a donut laying around, you eat it, and then you're still not full. Sorry, not hungry, not full. And you could just keep eating a bunch of carbs and not get full, right? How many of you have started with a large bag of chips and before you know it, the whole thing's gone, right? You would think a whole bag of chips would fill you up, but it doesn't. Why? Because there's no protein in those chips. If you had, let's say you had that bag of chips next to, I don't know, just as simple as a turkey sandwich, which or any chicken, I don't know. You will not finish that bag of chips because that protein from the turkey or from whatever you have will actually fill you up faster. And then it'll keep you from eating a whole bag of chips. All right. So those are the reasons why we want to get protein into our body. The main thing is helps keep the lean muscle mass that you have and helps you put on more lean muscle mass when you exercise. The other one is the hardest macronutrient for our body to digest. So our body burns more calories by eating protein. And then the third thing is it keeps you full longer. All right. So that is why, dang, gotta figure out this mirror thing. Why protein? So the next thing, myths about protein. All right. So I've already kind of covered one of them. Proteins. Biggest myth: protein will make you bigger. Protein will make you look like a bodybuilder. People are scared to have protein shakes because they don't work out. Like, can I have? And I used to think this too. I used to can I have a protein shake even though I'm not working out today? I don't want to get fat, right? So let's talk about the protein shake for a second. All protein shake is made up of the ingredients that makes protein. Like when you break down protein, that's what a protein shake is made out of. And when you look at the protein shake, like if you actually look at the nutrition label, most of them are like 100 calories or less because it's 25 grams of protein. And so it's usually around 100 calories. And so if you look at it that way, instead of saying, will me drinking this because it's protein, is this going to make me bigger? Make me gain weight because I'm not working out. Instead, look at it's 100 calories, right? Would you think twice? Remember when the market blew up with little 100-calorie snack packs? Maybe they still have those now. I don't know. But you would eat those feeling good by yourself. Oh, it's only 100 calories, right? But oh no, watch out. There's a 100-calorie protein shake. This is going to make me bigger. So at the end of the day, it's only 100 calories. It is not going to make you bigger. It's not going to make you anything. And the other way I kind of explain it is like, think about a piece of chicken. So 25 grams of chicken is like 3 to 4 ounces. So would you eat this 3 to 4 ounces of chicken even though you didn't work out? Yeah, why wouldn't you? It's healthy. Same thing with a protein shake. So the biggest myth is eating or drinking protein is not going to make you some big bodybuilder. You need as explained on why protein, when you actually have that protein, it's actually going to make you smaller because you're burning more calories and keep you full longer, which will keep you from eating excess amount of calories. All right. Another biggest thing that people usually say, like when they start a new nutrition plan, I know I used to think all this stuff was like, oh, my trainer, they now have me on this high protein diet. And we'll go into the protein number in a bit, but let's say 100 grams of protein is usually where we start off with most females. And so they're like, oh, I'm on this high protein diet now. I'm eating 100 grams a day, all this stuff, right? But when you break it down over the 3 macronutrients, carbs, protein, and fat, and you break down the percentages, let's say you eat 2,000 calories a day, right? Your protein is only around 30% of your total calories. You're actually, for a proper nutrition plan, like to start off somebody, they're actually eating more carbs than protein and fat. So if anything, you're on a high carb diet, and people lose weight like crazy. Don't worry, we'll talk about carbs probably tomorrow. And and so you're not on a high protein diet. You're just eating more protein than you used to, but you're on a balanced diet. So there is no, I mean, there are high protein diets, but I guarantee if you're here trying to lose weight, just trying to build lean muscle mass, you do not need to be on a high protein diet. You just need to be on the right amount of protein that we'll go over later today. And then the final myth, well, not final, but a big one. It's really, I don't know, it's not so much a myth, but so much of misconception, and it's not even our fault. It is the marketing behind it all. So I have a good story for the fat one, but as far as marketing when it comes to protein, so I call it the evil marketing because it's a bunch of marketers out there that try to trick people who don't know about nutrition, who don't know how to read a nutrition label, that don't have time to do all this. They trick people to think that their product is healthier than it actually is. And I have two examples. So one of them is cereal, right? We all love cereal. And so I remember I was walking down the grocery aisle. I don't know why Siri's talking to me now. I was walking down the grocery aisle, and I look to my right, and I see this glorious box, and it says high protein cereal, and I was so excited. I'm like, sweet, high protein cereal, and it's only like $4. Like, I'm gonna buy 10 boxes of these and eat cereal again. And so I grabbed this box with anticipation, look at the nutrition label, and it's split up into two columns. And it says pretty much one column is if you eat the cereal by itself, and the other column is if you eat the cereal with milk. And so I look at the first column, and it says, all right, so if you just eat the cereal by itself, it has whatever, like 30 carbs, 5 grams of fat. I go to the protein, 2 grams of protein. I'm like, how is this protein cereal? It has 2 grams of protein and about 30 carbs. This is like, there's no difference of this cereal than from Lucky Charms. And so then I look at the other column with milk, and it says same exact thing. The carbs are a little bit higher now because you add milk to it. Fat's higher now because you add milk to it. And then the protein says 10 grams. So, and on the box it said protein cereal 10 grams. But what it said is, hey, if you mix this with milk, then it turns into 10 grams of protein with your cereal. But in reality, it is not protein cereal. You're drinking milk that has protein and you're adding cereal to it. But because of the FDA and all that stuff with it, they're allowed to market protein cereal, which will trick people eating this thinking, hey, this is healthy for me, when it would be absolutely no different than eating Lucky Charms. And we all know Lucky Charms isn't the healthiest thing for us, right? So you have to watch out for that evil marketing myth that they put into your head. And the other biggest one is peanut butter. So first off, do not eat peanut butter if you think you're getting protein from it. So again, if you break down the 3 macronutrients, again, this is everything that I used to believe myself, which is why hopefully it resonates with some of you. The 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat. If you look at the nutrition label of peanut butter, it'll say it's usually about 8 grams of protein, about 15 grams of carbs, and then 16 grams of fat. So what peanut butter is a fat source. It is not a protein source, yet people will pile on their peanut butter thinking, hey, I'm having protein, right? Does it have protein in it? Yes, it has 8 grams. But you're getting double the amount of fat with every single serving. And so another thing with marketing is I was walking down a grocery aisle, and I turned to my left this time, and I see in big bright letters, protein peanut butter. Now this got me really excited because I was like cereal, that's one thing, but add more protein to peanut butter, I'm gonna buy out the whole store. And so I look at the nutrition label, and I compared it to a regular peanut butter label. The only thing difference was 2 grams. So here we are on the regular label. Again, it's 16 grams of protein, and again, it's about 8 to 10 grams of carbs, 8 grams of protein. And then here we are with the protein peanut butter, same amount of fat, 16, same amount of carbs, around 8 or 9 or 10, and then protein had 2 extra grams, which was 10. So I believe, I didn't look into the FDA guidelines and the rules or anything like that, but I believe as long as whatever food you're selling, as long as it has at least 10 grams into it, you're allowed to put high protein or protein something on the label. And that's what a lot of, when you break down the marketing and things that people are allowed to put on nutrition labels, like one thing for carbs, look at some breads will say whole wheat and some will say 100% whole wheat. So as long as some kind of breads have any kind of wheat in them, they're allowed to put whole wheat. But you have to be 100% whole wheat to put that 100%. So a little carb fact for you before I talk about that on that lesson. All right. So now that you know, it will now be your fault if you choose that over the other. So make sure you do your research, because the purpose of all of these food labels and companies, they need to make money. They have families, they got to pay for their families. They have employees, they got to pay for their employees. So it's their job, their marketing team's job to, I don't want to say trick you, but it is to make you look at that box and want to buy it immediately. And they know a lot of people are more health conscious now, so that's why you see all of that stuff. Low carb, only this month's net carb. I can't wait to talk about carbs. No fat, high protein. And even though it is not really true, and it's just their marketing ploy to make you buy it so then they could feed their families, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's a business. I respect it. But it's our job to do our due diligence and make sure it's properly. All right. So I'll get it right one time. You've learned about why we need to have protein, build lean muscle mass, and keep that lean muscle mass, and it keeps you full longer. You learned a few myths about protein. It is not going to make you bigger. I promise you. If that was the case, I would be bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. And we'd have, well, I'll leave it at that. Next, what kind of protein should we eat? Great question. Boom, boom, boom. And again, if you guys have questions, go ahead and just comment them. I'll get to them at the end. Or if you're enjoying this, you could let me know that too. So I know I'm not just typing myself. Where's that protein? All right, here's the protein list that I eat off of, that every single person that you see me post with results, they get this exact same thing as well. All right. Make it a little smaller. There we go. All right, so here's some healthy proteins. So if you're wondering, like, what protein can I eat? What's a good amount of protein? First off, you could do the same exact thing that I did when I was 25 and wanted to change my life, is I Googled it. You could find this exact list just on Google if you type in healthy protein foods, right? So a lot of and I say that because a lot of the times, like, the information, we're in 2021, right? Almost 2022. All the information you need to be successful is out there, right? The only purpose to pay someone is if you just want your hand held and be like, hey, I don't have time to do this myself. Just tell me exactly what to do. That's what we're here for, and the extra accountability, right? That's why I don't mind giving away all this stuff for free, because you could literally Google this and get it. And so here's a protein list. So we have chicken, we have bison, lean turkey breast, pork, ground beef, any white fish. This is supposed to be regular eggs is fine, and egg whites, of course, cottage cheese, Greek yogurts. This is some protein shakes, and then tuna. So the way we found this list, and then we call this our proven food list, is because after so many challenges that we've done, we had a longer list. We went to everyone who always lost the most weight, people who lose 20, 30 pounds within 6 weeks. And we asked them, what proteins did you eat the most? And it always came back to this list. And then on top of that, we actually partnered with a biochemist. And he was actually like the youngest biochemist. I don't know if it's in the world or in America, but he was only like 22 years old and became a biochemist. And he uses his brains for nutrition. He's too smart. Like when you talk to him, he's like the weirdest guy, but weird in a smart way. And so he looked at our list too and even fine-tuned it even more. So like this is like the best foods to eat off of. Are there a lot of healthy foods, proteins not on this? Yes. but then I don't want to give you a novel. But these are like the most common and the healthiest foods. And so that doesn't mean you have to eat everything on this list, right? You just choose what you like. So, for example, the only things that I eat, like my staple protein foods, I'll have chicken, I'll have turkey, egg whites, and protein shakes. That's pretty much what I have like every single, definitely every week, not about every day, but I have that every single week. And that's my staple foods. Like every single week, proteins, I'll cook a bunch of chicken. I have an egg white. I just actually just ate egg whites before I started this video. I always have protein shakes on hand and turkey. So the only two meal preps that I actually do, I'll cook a bunch of chicken, I'll cook a bunch of turkey. And that's in my fridge, and I just grab it, put it on a plate, and eat it. Make it very simple for yourself, all right? So this is the types of protein you should be eating. So go ahead, take a screenshot, write down what you like, whatever it may be. Workshop. So here's the workshop. Just came to me. What I want you to do in the comments after you watch this part, comment down below what 2 or 3 proteins do you like off this list. And then so what you need to do is make that your staple foods and eat that every single day, right? Yes, every single day. So talking about when I talk about eating the same foods, it always brings me to the best thing. So this biochemist guy, his name's Dr. Kashi, if you want to look him up. He told me one thing. He said, Luke, I don't know if he said Luke, or I don't know if it's a group of people, but I'm gonna say he said Luke. Luke, he said, there's 2 types of people. There's people that eat the same thing every single day. And then there's people that lie to themselves about eating the same thing every day. So what he was pretty much saying is every single human eats the same things every single day. They try to trick themselves. There's just one group of people that trick themselves thinking that they need a variety, when in reality, they literally eat the same thing every single day, right? Chicken with something, whatever. The best example I could give is Mexican food. What's the difference between a burrito, a taco, a tostada, whatever else they got? Nothing. It's all the same exact food. They just cook the tortilla differently, mix around some ingredients, may put some more sauce on something. But as far as what the protein is, what the carbs and the fats are, it's the same exact thing. So everybody, if you're worried about eating the same thing every day, don't. You do it already. Okay? Let's leave that there. And then every now and then on the weekend, you go out with your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend and truly eat something different. But still, it's really not that different. All right, so there's your protein list. So what did we cover so far? We covered why protein. We covered some myths. I just showed you a protein list. So next, let's talk about snacks. So snacks, and this will become, so these next 3 all really come together. So when it comes to snacks, you need to be, the biggest thing, or the biggest mistake that I see when people choose their snacks is they're not intentional with their snacks. And that's what creates them to be full or not, to stay hungry throughout the day. And it helps them, or it keeps them from losing the amount of weight that they could be losing if they were more intentional. And so every time we have a snack, every time we eat, there should be some kind of protein source in that. Now, notice I didn't say there should be some kind of protein. There should be some kind of protein source. Again, a good example would be peanut butter. People eat peanut butter that has protein, but it's not a protein source. And so when people usually choose their snacks, it's always on the go or not even thought about. They'll grab healthy foods. They'll grab fruit. They'll grab maybe some oatmeal. Usually fruit. That's an easy one, right? They'll make a bag of veggies. They'll make a little bag of nuts, which again, nuts like peanut butter is a fat source, not a protein source. And so everything I just mentioned, it's 100% healthy. But there's no or very little protein into it, which will keep you from hitting your protein goal, which will keep you from burning as many calories as you can throughout the day, which will keep you, I forgot what I said first, from being full. And so that's what you have to do when you plan out your snacks is like, what is my protein source? So what are some good, so let's go back to this list. What are some good healthy protein snacks that we could use, right? We could take, so what I used to always say, and what I used to eat a lot of, Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. Very simple. Takes 0 prep work. It's $1 for one thing of Greek yogurt. And as long as you have a fridge, you could take it with you anywhere. Don't have a fridge? Great. Make a cooler with some ice, right? And so adding, so if you want fruit, great. Have some fruit, add it to Greek yogurt. Want some fruit? Great. Add some fruit to cottage cheese. And that is a great protein snack. One little hack that I used to do to get more protein is I got a flavored Greek yogurt. Most of them are fine. And then I'd get a half a cup of that and put a half a cup of cottage cheese, mix it together. And so if you don't like I used to hate cottage cheese, but I like it now. I don't know. I just acquired the taste. Um, but you can't taste, if you mix those together, you don't taste the cottage cheese at all. You just taste the flavored Greek yogurt. But now you added like an extra 20 grams of protein to that snack. That simple. And as you know, if you've had Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, it's not some huge meal, but yet just by having one small thing of Greek yogurt, that's like 15 grams of protein. Have two of those, that's 30 grams. And so that was one of my snacks for the longest time is I would just have two little small cups that you would buy at a grocery store of Greek yogurt, and that's 30 grams of protein. Like that simple. And so when it comes to snacks, it's just about being intentional with those snacks. Another one that I used to tell people a lot, if they like eggs, just hard boil some eggs, take them with you. That's another easy one. Or if you like to cook, then create just a small little snack of 3 ounces of chicken with fruits, veggies, whatever you like, some brown rice, and throw that into there. Or again, even tuna's as simple. Take the can with you, open it up, make people smell it. It's wonderful. All right. So when it comes to snacks, and protein, you just need to be intentional with those protein. And the reason why you want to be intentional is to hit that protein number. So how much protein should you be eating every single day? So at our gym, we have what's called an in-body machine. And it pretty much, of course, it gets your weight, but more importantly, it gets your muscle mass, gets your body fat mass, your body fat percentage, and tells you your lean body mass. So if you live close to us and want to get on it, just message me. We could set up some time, and then I'll try to sell you some more stuff after. But what it is for when it comes to how much protein, you should have about 1 gram of protein for your lean body mass. And it doesn't matter if you work out or not. You should have 1 gram per pound of a lean body mass. And so if you don't have the machine, no problem. On average, females are anywhere from like 90 to 110 grams, right? Every single female that steps on that machine is always between 90 and 110. Very rarely is it more. So to make it safe, females have about 100 grams of protein every single day. And if you're saying, well, that's a lot of protein, our next step of this and the last step is I'm going to show you how you can make sure you get it and kind of put your protein meal plans together. For guys, it could be anywhere from 140 to usually about 170, 180-ish. So to be safe, you could have like 160 grams of protein. I know for me, when I very first started actually tracking my protein, I was at like 170, 175. And at this point, I weighed about 190-ish pounds. All right. And you could go, so if you're pretty lean, it's usually maybe about 15 to 20 grams less than what you weigh. If you're overweight, it could be a little bit more, but also the more protein will actually probably help you lose weight faster. And so that's so for protein numbers, you could either get on a machine, find out your lean muscle mass. If not, females aim for 100, guys aim for about 150, 160. And that is a perfect start, and then you could start manipulating things from there. All right. And then finally, how we put it together. So before I go into this, if you have any questions, start asking away from anything I covered. But by now, you should know why you should be eating protein. Hopefully, I knocked out at least 2 or 3 myths that you had about protein. I showed you a protein list, things to choose from to get that protein into your body, and how we use that list to be intentional with our snacks for the reason to hit your protein number. So how do you hit that protein number? So this is what I do. I'm going to open up my web browser. Hopefully this works. And just show you how simple it can be just when you know protein foods and how to be intentional with those foods. And so I use the app MyFitnessPal. I'm just going to use the web browser, but it's also on your phone, very easy to use. And I'm just going to show you how to hit 100 grams of protein throughout your day. if I could figure out how to do this. There we go. All right. Can everyone see that? I'll assume yes. So again, a big mistake that usually happens. Hold on. Let me. Hey, there I am. So a big mistake that usually happens is most people's day-to-day eating will look something like this. They will have, let's say they're for breakfast, so either they skip breakfast, but let's say they make breakfast, they'll have some oatmeal with some coffee, right? Completely healthy. 2-3 hours later, let's say they do have a snack, and so most people skip their snack. Most people don't usually eat till like 12 or 1, and we'll talk about that probably on day 4ish. And so they wake up, they have some oatmeal, they have a cup of coffee, completely fine. They go to their snack, like at snack time, I bagged some fruit, maybe some nuts. Okay, great. Lunchtime, they'll either skip lunch because they're too busy at work, or they'll eat lunch and they'll have, let's say, a salad. And then everyone always skips the afternoon snack because that's when they're driving home. And then for dinner time, they'll have some kind of chicken and something, right? Sound familiar? If that sounds familiar to you, I'm actually interested. Comment down below. Let me know if that's kind of a day-to-day basis. Maybe not those exact foods, but similar. And so if you think about it, all right, so they had oatmeal for breakfast, completely healthy, 0 protein. So they got about maybe 2 grams of protein from that. Snack, we talked about this. They had fruit, 0 protein. Lunch, a salad. It's protein if they added maybe chicken to it. Let's say they conscious about that, so they did add some, we'll say, chicken to make it easy. So they maybe had about 15 grams of protein there. Let's say 20. They had 20 grams of protein, and right now it's lunchtime. They skip the afternoon snack. Dinner time, they have a regular meal of chicken whatever, maybe turkey whatever, maybe beef whatever, and they get another 20-25 grams of protein. So on a high end, they're getting 40 to 50 grams of protein throughout the whole day, and that's just from really 2 of those meals, right? And so if you do this time, day and day and day and day after day again, of getting such low protein, what's happening is your body, and if you're not eating enough calories, which most people don't, your body is losing weight, yes, but you're losing muscle because you're not getting enough protein for your body, and your body is storing fat at the same time as a survival mechanism because you're not getting enough calories. And that is why whenever someone starts eating healthy, if you can see me, quotes healthy, they always lose weight in the beginning because, again, they're just not eating enough calories without knowing it. And so they lose weight, and that tricks their mind thinking that's what they have to do. But then what always happens is they hit a plateau and slowly gain the weight back. And then it's 10 times harder for them to lose the weight because they lost muscle when they lost weight and they didn't lose the fat. They actually gained more fat from losing the weight. So that's why the scale it's an indicator for certain stuff, but it is not the main indicator to make sure you're doing something right. All right. And so with all that being said, so how do we hit 100 grams of protein, Luke? Great question. So here we go. So if you never use MyFitnessPal, this is how you use it. So I'm just going to go to breakfast. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Perfect. So if you use it for a while, it already kind of auto-populates stuff that you've had in the past. I'm big on overnight oats, and I add like protein powder to it to make it have more protein. This is literally what I just ate right now: egg whites with some cheese and a little burrito. Okay, enough about that. All right, so I always have a protein shake. So I love the Herbalife protein shakes, so that's what I'm going to put here. If you need any of these shakes, just let me know. There's my little shameless plug. Herbalife Formula 1, 2 scoops vanilla. Perfect. I'll add that. And then what I do, the way I make my shake is I have 2 scoops of the Formula 1, and then I also have 2 scoops of the protein drink mix. Let's see if that pops up. Nope, pops up if I'm on my app. Herbalife protein drink mix. And I always have 2 scoops of that. There you are. So there's my shake for the morning. So right off the bat, I have protein, 24 grams of protein. Pretty cool, right? And so if I go down here, this is what calculate it. So for my personal goals right now, I actually eat 225 grams of protein. And it took me whiles to get up there. I didn't start off at that. But right now, again, we're just going to go to 100. And so what I do is I always have 2 shakes a day. And so I'll put my snack after I exercise. I have another snack. It's actually, this is a recipe I made in the thing. But I call it the annatto shake, but it's pretty much the same exact thing. It has 2 scoops of the Formula One, has 1 scoop of the protein, but then I also add this post-workout protein to it called the Rebuild Strength. So pretty cool. In my fitness pal, you could actually create stuff into it as well. Add checked. So there's my 2 shakes that I have already. And as you can see, my protein, I'm already at 64 grams of protein. Okay, I won't do that. I'll say that's too easy. I'll just go off like a female. Well, most of our females actually do have that, but in any case, what I always tell people to do when they're first starting is have 2 shakes a day, and I'll explain that in a little bit anyways. Boom, boom. So there's the same thing I just did for breakfast. Now they have it later in the day as a snack. And so you have 2 of those and you're at 4850 grams of protein, all right? So now, hey, it's snack time. So that's 1 snack. Let's have a morning snack. So one Greek yogurt that I always like to use is I use Oikos Greek yogurt, 000. I don't know if I need to put that in or not. This is one of the best ones that I found. There's a lot of good ones out there. This is just the one I use. Reason why, because even the flavored ones of the Oikos 000 Greek yogurt is pretty much the same macronutrients, like 15-ish grams of protein, things like that. And so let's say you just have one of those. Look at that, only 90 calories. But it has 15 grams of protein. So again, for me, when I wanted more protein, I would always have 2 of these, all right? But we'll just use 1. We're going off a female's meal plan right here. So they got their 2 shakes. So they had a shake for breakfast. A few hours later for the morning snack, they had a Greek yogurt. And now it's lunchtime. So let's say lunch, they actually have some chicken. I usually use the Stater Brothers ones. I'll change this to ounces. Let's just say they have 3 ounces of chicken breast. And then you could add whatever you want. You could add salad to that. If you want to add some cheese to that. Just make it like a regular salad. But all of that stuff is like carbs and fats. So we're just going to add the protein here. And so what do we have so far? We're already at 83 grams of protein. So this is what our day looks like so far. You wake up. You're in a rush, but hey, I can make a shake in 30 seconds. So you make a shake, you drink it on your way to work. Easy. 2 or 3 hours later, it's time for a little snack. And so what you have is you have a Greek yogurt, 15 grams of protein. Perfect. Now it's lunchtime. It's like 12 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And what do you have? You have a little salad with 3 ounces of chicken breast on it. Beautiful. And then on the way home, now it's like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock-ish. Time for an afternoon snack. You have another shake. Great job. You guys are killing it. And so now we only need 20 grams of protein, and we have 1 more meal left, which is dinner, right? And so what do most people cook for dinner? Like we could use chicken again. Let's go with ground turkey. I always use the Genio brand. It's usually I think it's the leanest that I've seen. Genio. Beautiful. And let's just say you only have 4 ounces. And then let's say you can add whatever you want to it. Add some rice, add some vegetables, add I don't know, whatever you add to. Maybe a bell pepper, like a stuffed bell pepper with ground turkey. That sounds delicious. How about some spaghetti with ground turkey meatballs? Ooh, that sounds great too. And then, so as you can see, like that, oh, hit 100 exactly. I wasn't even planning on that. That's pretty cool. And so that is how you could hit 100 grams of protein every single day. And as you can see, like it's not a lot of food. It's just being intentional with your food. That's the main thing that I want to get when it comes to protein that I want you to get out of this. You don't have to eat a bunch of food. You just have to be intentional with your food. So again, you wake up, you have a shake. Like, that's not a lot of food. You could drink a shake. 3 hours later, you have one little thing of a Greek yogurt. That'll take you like 10 seconds to eat, right? A few hours later, you go out to eat lunch with your coworkers and you have a little salad with chicken on it. Great job. 3 hours later, you just have another little shake because it's simple. Why not? So all of these meals, you can see they're like small meals. Um, and then for dinner, you have your regular dinner that you cook with your family. And because you're changing your lifestyle, you actually cook your family healthy dinner. It's perfect, right? So this is, let me know if this helped you. Comment down below. Yes, no, I hate you, whatever you want. But let me know, what was this helpful for you? Because in the next few days, I'm going to be doing the same thing with carbs. And I'm also going to be doing the same thing with fats. And so if this is helpful for you, it'll give me a good idea to keep doing it like this. Or if you want something different, let me know that as well, and I could switch that up for you too. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Cool. Awesome, guys. So that is protein. So again, if you have any questions, please ask away. I'll help out as much as I can. What up, Andy? And so again, just a quick recap before we go. Hopefully, so by the end of this, so if you don't understand any of these parts, please watch the video or that part of the video again. If you still don't understand, please ask questions. That's what this is here for. It's going to be up for at least 24 hours. This is your chance to learn everything for free. Like, people pay $500 to $1,000 programs just to learn this stuff, and here you are, learn it for free, so take advantage of it. So if you don't know why you should be eating protein, if you still have some myths about protein, or if you're not sure, but if they're myths, go ahead and ask those. You should know what proteins you could be eating, how to be intentional with your snacks, how much protein your body should be taking in, and then more importantly, how to actually hit that protein number every single day to get the best results possible. All right, guys, so have a wonderful day. And then, so tomorrow is going to be one of my favorite topics. We're going to be talking all about carbs. And I may even talk about a crazy challenge that I'm going to be doing starting soon. But either way, have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this and it was brought you some value, please let me know so I know I'm on the right track to continue helping you. If you would like something different, please let me know so I could change it up for you. Other than that, have a wonderful day. Talk to you guys soon.